I do believe YouTube is the most difficult, quote unquote, hobby I've ever had. Stay with me for episode number 5 of the Triple T podcast right after this. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Triple T podcast, episode number 5. Thank you all for joining me today. I appreciate you all for joining me today. YouTube. It's one of the more difficult hobbies that I have ever done in my life. One of the most difficult hobbies I've ever done in my life. And I'm hoping that the 2021 year will be better. I have to have 1,000 subscribers by January 2021, but I know that's not going to happen. So as soon as January gets here, I'll still have my 35 subscribers, but I'm going to need another 1,000 on top of that in order to keep my channel going. So I appreciate every single one of you for coming on and listening and watching. I know my podcasts or I should say, I know my vlogs are bad, I guess you could say. The vlogs, see, I'm my own worst critic, and I thought the vlogs that were really good, they didn't get no views. The vlogs that were horrible, a bunch. It's like y'all came, it's like people have come to watch my vlogs whenever I'd have a, bad one out opposed to having a good one out, and like, well, he's already made a bad vlog, so, this vlog right here is going to suck too. I know I have a lot of room to grow, and I know I have a lot of things to learn, if you will. I know I do. It's no secret. I know I do. And I also sat there and said, don't forget to subscribe to Triple TV because this deer season is going to be off the hook. I didn't have a very good, I had a good, deer hunting year, but I didn't have a great one. I got one of the bucks I had on camera. I said, well, if that deer ever came in, I was going to shoot him. And, well, that was the last podcast I did. That was the last time I actually done something for YouTube. And so I just thought it was time to come back. I took a little break because I wasn't getting very much video. And then if I thought my bow season was weird, the gun season was even weirder. I was out every weekend gun hunting. And it wasn't until the last 2 weekends of season that I actually started seeing deer. This weather pattern down here this year, it was off. It was just, I don't know. Everybody's like, oh, 2020 this, 2020 that. Well, 2020 hit deer season too, because yes, I did harvest the doe, and I harvested a really nice 8-point, mature 8-point, but it was just a difficult season all the way around. And then I finally started seeing some does. I'm like, shoot, I hadn't seen a deer in a long time. Now I'm starting to see some does. I really don't want to shoot a doe anymore. I just got cold feet, I guess. I'm like, I'm not going to shoot a doe. So I pretty much took this month, except for the past 2 weekends, I took this month, and I just deer hunted. I was after 1 or 2 particular bucks, and I could only shoot one of them, so it was pretty much who came in first, and none of them showed up. So I just left the camera at the house, and it was just actually the last week that I got to thinking, instead of using the GoPro as my interview cam, I'll use my 2.7K as my interview cam, and then take my first video camera that I had for vlogging that I never did put a vlog up. So this camera's pretty much brand new. It was actually the camera that I originally started filming my vlogs. My first, I don't know how many videos, that was the camera. That's the camera I'm going to use on my deer hunts. That's my B-roll cam, if you will. So this 2021 season, it's going to be completely different. I assure you, I promise you, it's going to be a whole lot different than how this season went. But getting the deer to come in is what's going to really, help it out a lot. I'm just, instead of going out and just sitting and hunting, I'm going to do what I used to do, and that's really study the art of whitetail. Study whitetail. Study the art of hunting. I was more successful those years than the years that I'm like, I'll just grab my bow, shoot it a couple times. Okay, it's sighted in. I'm ready to go hunting. The past 3-4 years, that's what I've been doing, and I have made the biggest mistakes by doing that. Yes, I've been successful out in the woods, but at the same time, I'm unsuccessful in actually getting the deer to come in. We'll continue with the rest of this after this short break from Car Doctor 2. This episode, just like every other episode, is brought to you by Car Doctor 2. Corey and his staff truly are the best mechanics around. No matter the need, whether it's engine problems, transmission brakes, need a new set of tires, a new paint job, or a dent fixed, whatever the case may be, call Corey at Car Doctor 2. He's located just outside there, Missouri. Can't get your car tuned? No problem. He'll pick it up and drop it right off. He even works on diesel engines. He's also my go-to broadhead guy. I stand by these slip cam broadheads 110%. Shot 2 deer this year and retrieved them both within 60 yards. They're $5 a piece, and he'll ship anywhere within the continental U.S. Call Corey with Car Doctor 2. So I guess that was just my biggest problem. I wasn't hunting like I should. I was out there every day. But there's a difference between being out there every day and actually being successful. And people say, just being out there, is being successful. Well, yeah, don't you like bringing meat home too? Come on. I am one of those guys. I am that guy. I'm going to be honest with you. But next year will be a lot different. Just stick with me. Just stick with me. And another thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to look into podcast apps and putting my podcast on podcast apps and film while I'm doing a podcast, and then instead of putting just my voiceover, on YouTube, I'll have an actual video to put on YouTube, of me doing my podcast. If my voice sounds a little bit shaky right now, it's because I'm rocking my daughter here. But that's my plan. This past summer, it was kind of a difficult summer to go to any real place, in the country because of obvious reasons. Hopefully this year is going to be a heck of a lot different, going to be a heck of a lot better, and I'll be able to do a lot more filming and actually doing vlogs. And every day I look into doing vlogs and researching how to make them better and stuff like that. So that's what's going to happen from here on out. I apologize to those of you that are on here and like, well, he's okay, but he's got a lot of room to grow. I understand that. I got a long ways to go. So I just appreciate every single one of you for sticking with me. I'm a work in progress. These vlogs are a work in progress. Podcasts are doing pretty good. I can't really complain. But I am a work in progress. Triple TV, once again, is a work in progress. I will be better. I will be doing better. Just hang out. It's going to get good, I assure you. This year, got some squirrel hunts coming. I'm just going to tell you what all we got coming up. This year, we got some squirrel hunts coming up. Going to go on a few squirrel hunts. I need to thin the herd a little bit over there around my deer stand. Probably a couple of places where I'm going to be putting a deer stand. I need to thin out some squirrels. There's a bunch of them. Take that deer stand that I killed at 8-point, and I'm going to take it and kind of move it up the hill a little bit on top of that ridge that I found that I've been sitting during gun season, and then taking the stand that I had down by the creek, and I'm probably going to move it up the hill, see if I can find a nice place up there. I did find a nice place up there. This year it was really cool. I got to watch how these, like it was during gun season, and I was sitting in a climbing stand, and thought I heard something walking and looked all the way across the holler and up into on this hill, and I seen these deer just hugging that hillside. I'm like, that is so cool. And I think I'm going to move my stand over in that area if I can find a good flat spot to sit my stand. And there has to be one over there because, I mean, they just trailing, it's just like a big, long trail. So I'm doing that. Going to get a ground blind this next year. I'm going to hunt out of the ground blind with a gun, and it'll all be caught on film. I'm telling you guys, this ain't over. This is not over. It's going to get better, I assure you. And I know I keep saying that, and I just ask you all to stick with me. Share with your friends. If you guys got any tips about what I can do to make this better, let me know, and I'll do it. Think I'm going to get into the comedy side of it a little bit, start doing a little bit of comedy. Remember the Humble Hunter, the first actual episode I put up. Thinking about doing a Humble Fisherman. I think that would be kind of funny. Just brainstorming some ideas. Tree stand maintenance, and let's see, fishing's coming up, squirrel season, tree stand maintenance. See what else. I might even take you all on the journey with me whenever I'm making the YouTube studio. I'm thinking about calling it Redneck Studios or something like that. I don't want to call it Triple T Studios, like Redneck Studios, just something catchy. And that's what I'm doing. It's going to start getting better. I assure you, it's going to start getting better. We're going to close this thing up right after this message about Jeremiah Judd and Judd's Taxidermy. Y'all stay with me. Let me tell you about another guy that does great work. Jeremiah Judd with Judd's Taxidermy. He's a true artist, and his work looks so good you'll want to shoot it or catch it again. He's been in business for many, many years, and his work truly speaks for itself. Need something done? He's the guy to go to preserve that giant buck or hog of a bass. Of course, he does other things like full body mounts, tan rugs, etc. I promise you won't go wrong with taking your stuff to him. Check out his Facebook page, Judd's Taxidermy, and see for yourself. Links to Judd's Taxidermy and Car Doctor 2 is in the description box below. I know this probably wasn't the podcast that everybody was wanting to hear and listen to, but I came into doing YouTube thinking it was going to be a whole lot easier than it was, and it's not. I got to work my butt off. It seriously feels like I have two jobs. I do enjoy doing it. I do enjoy, getting to film and hunt and fish and stuff like that, and document it and bring it all back and create, good, well, some good, some bad videos. I enjoy it. My whole life I have wanted my own outdoor show, not knowing YouTube was the way to go. And that's shame on me. That's shame on me. But now that I'm here, it is my duty to make good things happen, make good podcasts, make good videos, make good vlogs. So things are going to be changing, and it's going to be looking a lot different and a lot better, and I think you all will be better entertained. I did shorten my vlogs down to like 7 to 10 minutes. I can't help having 15-minute podcasts, but I mean, that's what a podcast is, 15 minutes to an hour. Shoot, I've even seen some for an hour and a half. I'm not ever going to go that long. But this season, I don't want to say seasons, but this coming up year, 2021, I'm going to start putting guests on here. I also wanted to say, too, I got another vlog coming out that will be me going to pick up my deer head whenever Jeremiah gets it done. Harvested a really nice 10-point last year. And it's been at Jeremiah's, and he's working on it. So as soon as that gets done, there'll be a vlog on its own right there. So I got a lot of vlogs coming up, and it is going to get better. Thank you all for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Triple TV. I'll keep you all updated on the podcast app and where to go to get that. I want to finish doing some research. And follow me on Facebook at Triple TV. Follow me on Instagram at Triple TV 86. Y'all have a good one, and I'll be doing a lot more filming and podcast here in just a few days. I got to go work 2 days at my real job, and then I'll be ready to make some podcasts and vlogs for a few days. So that way I can kind of stay ahead so I don't ever go a month without making any. So until next time, y'all have a good one.